a few things to review. And I want to point out here that the little village map is not anything but a bunch of little squares on the map. So I don't have a big village map. So I will just have to ask you to use your imagination a little bit. And if you want, you can take this piece of paper and talk about going over here or over there. And we will imagine lots of other things that you would expect to find in a village next to the buildings, or, things that should be available. It should not be very hard. And also the outside of it, there must be areas that for probably this entire area is used by people. So there must be places for horses, there must be some garden patches and things like that. There must be
cultivation of sorts.
Yes, this area is used, in other words.
Yeah,
it's not just an open
belongs
field.
to society.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever seems sensible to you, suggest it, and it's probably there. All right. The next thing to review is what happened last time. And I can say fairly that you all lived. You were all conscious at the end last time, which is more than the time before.
I remember
But Arco's
having a
pretty bad
conversation
off,
of
right?
seeing something that you were supposed to tell
you.
us.
Yes.
Door.
Yes.
Mhm.
In the ruins.
And the two of you had been struck by a demoralize effect, I think. I don't remember about Zort. I know that Skava
Both of
was.
us.
I think
We
you
just-
too. Yeah.
Both.
And so the two of you were affected for about 30 seconds or so, or to a minute. And until that time, you found yourself some distance away
Yep.
in the woods. And the last I heard, the few of you who could still speak were concerned with coming back with help next time, perhaps. And also that Helma asked an important question by email, which was whether ghouls regenerate.
Yeah.
And so all that, I said yes in the email, but the answer is it depends on other rules. So
My
I don't
guess
really
is
know.
yes.
So
But,
if we only hurt them but not properly,
Well, the one did light on fire.
yeah, well,
I would say
that
your.
was at least
I would
that's
say
two
that
people.
one you could be pretty confident is.
That-
is
But the other two,
Yeah. hmm
I don't think so.
Might or might not.
Now the reason I talk about all of this is that I want to say it's going to take some time for the four of you to find one another and to organize yourselves and to come to some conclusions about what to do next. And that is not going to, in fictional time, that is not just going to be 5 minutes. That's going to be, it's a forest. It's irritating to go find people in a forest, and some of you are disoriented, and and all of you are just in a very disturbing fight. And so therefore, I'm just going to say it will take some time for everybody to organize themselves, but it's not impossible. And you are now in a position where all of you are rational and are able to arrive at some ideas for your next plans and goals and information. So please.
Me?
Sure.
Wait, have we met up yet?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
When I grabbed my axe or hatchet, I saw a door inside the ruins, and it wasn't as torn down as I don't think it was. It looked like a really old door. If I remember correctly, it looked like There was something about this, though I don't really recall what you
One is
said.
that it was part of an older structure,
Yeah.
and another was that clearly it had not been used but had been covered.
Yeah.
So the people who had been using the fortress all this time and probably built the newer fortress, they had just covered it and never used it. But it has been a long time, and undead people have been scratching at the walls and things, and so it is now evident to you also your knowledge of old structures, which for you is cult lore, is enough for you to recognize it. Another person without the training might not have known to look for something like that in a spot like that. So that's my thinking. So you did make that roll, and you did come away with this conclusion. So what Urko can tell you is pretty convincing.
Doesn't convince me to go back in there.
You see.
Not as long as that spirit is in there.
The
Just
shaman
in
lady.
case you didn't realize that he's waiting for something.
The Urko knows all
Someone.
about that, and so do you. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I think we need to get the spirit out somehow.
Lure him
So-
out.
and then he's going to come back in.
Yeah, but maybe it doesn't have that much
Who is it?
power outside.
It's a considerable question because you know that
I'm not going to
If you
risk
do it in the daytime, at least. Maybe
No,
not nighttime
thanks.
activity.
No,
Well, the children
So-
would
I have some
to the dark.
pretty recent memories about
Mhm.
fighting with spirits, and I wouldn't recommend it.
Mhm.
But we have
I
a
was
priest.
pretty lucky.
Mhm.
We have a priest in the village. And
True.
maybe the shaman
The
lady
shaman woman too, yes.
might be
Yeah.
still there.
The point is, I don't know. She should have known about him.
Well, she is
I'm
not native to the
sure.
area.
No. But people in the village would have told her. I wonder if it isn't him who haunted the village. But I would say we try contact her.
Mhm.
Erko has to heal.
Yeah,
you do?
I have to heal and tend to my armor.
Yes. What is your yes, you actually you
bad
got your
are
arms
you?
all cut up, correct?
Yeah. 3 on one arm and 1 on the other. So.
Is anyone else hurt?
Not
No?
me.
Okay. So then yes, healing would be a good idea, and the the timing on that I have reviewed. The timing on that is that when you cast a battle magic spell on somebody, you will regain the power in units of 6 hours. So they will not come back in just a few minutes. They will
Right.
come back after a little while. So, however, the people at the village are friendly toward all of you and are certainly going to help with anything of the kind as well. So it shouldn't be too bad for you.
And I would think
Yeah.
we should tell them what we found or what found us
Mhm.
in the
You made
tower,
the spirit and the
just to
two
warn
small,
them off
three
Yeah.
children.
of any risks they may run.
Mhm.
Those were children, right?
I'd bet
Mm.
it
Mhm.
seemed like it. Nice family.
We should go back anyway. We can
Yeah.
revisit the site in a couple of days,
Mhm.
get our stuff together, armor, heal you,
Mhm.
and try to talk to the priest and the shaman lady.
Mhm.
So
Sounds
there is no idea that there is no good idea to split up the group like base camp here and a couple go
No.
back. Just all go back.
No, you more or less live here for now. So
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about what happens when you return, because the first insight, which is something Alma was concerned about just now, is that Imja did not know anything about this situation. However, remember you asked everybody around the village, And her concern mainly has been the site of the, where I have marked here, the site of the disturbance in the ground where the gnome swallowed up the person and they created a little protected zone in there. She has been mostly concerned with that area. And so the good news is that she and some people from the village and some of the people with her, so at least 10 people, are not too far away from you at this time.
Great.
So when you finally come out of these woods and down into the hills, at least there are people to meet you fairly soon. And when and so that's why Imjo has not been very helpful or involved in this, is because she had other problems that's why she came here. And the concern, first of all, is to tend to you. The second one is to the villagers are not very happy about disturbing these ruins. They knew you were going to do it. They were frightened about it. They are hoping that you will, solve this problem for them. If you insist on going and bothering these things, then you might as well fix the problem. And so the fact that the four of you are returning hurt and upset and without much success is worrying them. And so the what else must I say? One thing that I forgot to mention last time is that this priest, who I have talked about before, is young, and he does not have an enormous amount of power that he gathers before each holy day. So in order to use the special rune spell Regrow Limb on you, he had 2 extra power. And he sacrificed it, and he got that spell and cast that spell. That could have been a blessing for the village for the whole season. That's what he usually does on holy days. Right? That what he usually does on holy days is do priest-like things for the community with the rune magic. So he doesn't mind, but yes, you have a little bit of they invested a little bit in you. And so so nobody is really mentioning this out loud.
No, I feel
something. And the question that they have really is right now, with what you tell them. If you talk to Imja about this, she's pretty concerned. She's saying, this could unleash these terrors upon the village. And remember that she supports you guys in seeking the ancient knowledge. She's not very happy about it, but has decided it's a better idea to have people she likes doing it than people she doesn't like. And she asked Skava if she trusted you. And she said yes, which was fairly dramatic, I thought. She didn't have to. And so the point that I'm asking you now is, do you want to go back directly with Imja and these people? Or do you want to follow your first plan of going back and relaxing and trying to recover everything? The big concern is what dangers might come out.
Ergo shouldn't go.
Right.
Yeah. Pros and cons. Probably
Ergo
better
shouldn't
not
go.
to
I
involve
don't
them
know
in
about
the
you
village.
guys. I'm feeling obliged to follow with her if she wants to go now.
Okay.
Do we have enough light this time? It was a wee bit dark last time.
I mean,
Well,
we
you
didn't
didn't
really
really have
plan
time.
to go
Yeah.
in
Oh,
there.
I
This
know,
time
but-
we would.
You can light
I have
lanterns
my
first.
lantern.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not the only one. You guys all have camping gear and can. and can light lanterns